So when I moved in the temple, we gradually started doing a little theater, and I hadn't met Srila Prabhupada yet. And then it was time for him to come. And we prepared a play of Krishna kidnapping Rukmini, where I played the part of Rukmini, and my husband Loitaksha was playing Krishna. And we had been helping to direct some of the plays in a more so-called professional manner. And all of a sudden, when it came time for the performance, we were up in the little prasada room in the temple, in the old Brooklyn temple. And I remember the curtain opened, and there was a big empty space about to where you are. And then there was Prabhupada in his rocking chair, and then everyone else was behind him. And the play opened with Rukmini sitting on the stage writing a letter to Krishna. And all of a sudden I got so nervous. After all my years of doing theater, I thought, Prabhupada, oh my God, how I can do this. It felt like going to auditions and so forth. This was way beyond that. I thought, here's Prabhupada, the spiritual master of the universe, and I'm performing Rukmini, me. I thought, he's just going to see that this is ridiculous, and my knee started shaking. I could just feel my knee, and I tried to press it into the floor, and then all of a sudden, I just kind of took a deep breath, and Prabhupada's presence just really calmed me down instead of making me nervous. It was just kind of the opposite. And we had a wonderful performance, Jai Rukmini Dwarkadish. And I remember there was one point towards the end of the play where I think it was Balaram cutting off the Sika of Shishupal. And all the devotees were laughing. And Prabhupada stopped and he said, "Why are you laughing? This isn't funny." And so Prabhupada would train us in so many ways of what was funny and what wasn't funny. But anyway, the play was over, and Mohanananda was his servant at the time, and he came running up a little while afterwards. We were all downstairs taking our makeup off, and told us all the things that Prabhupada said about the performance, and that he said, "This is better than reading my books, and I want to take this whole troupe with me to Africa." He wanted to take the whole acting troupe to Africa, but of course that was impossible because that was the main event of the Brooklyn Temple at the Sunday feast, so we couldn't just leave. But just the fact that he said that and the importance that he put into theatrical performance and the cultural movement, being he wanted it to really be presented as a cultural movement. And actually in the Bhagavatam he said, all my disciples should act in plays, because when you play the part of any of these characters, you get a different feeling of what it's all about. It becomes more real, and we tend to kind of avoid our feelings a little bit because we get so caught up in the process and forget about our own personal feelings. And when you actually perform a part, you have to use your feelings to portray the character. And then because the character is there, you sort of transform for that moment or for that period of performance. And Prabhupada made a very nice compliment to me. He said, "She was the best, Rukmini, she was the best." And I always thought, oh my God. And then another time, a very ecstatic performance was in Mayapur, at the Mayapur Festival, and actually I think it was in 1977. And Prabhupada was very sick, and he wasn't even coming down to give lectures, but he would come down to the play and then go back up to his room. And we were doing a portion of the Ramayana, and I was playing Shurpanaka. And I remember somehow we got some trees on the stage to create a forest effect. And I remember just coming up the stairs in the back, and Prabhupada started clapping like this, and he started laughing. And then the part where, the exchange between Shurpanaka and Lord Ramachandra and Lakshman, and he was laughing so hard, he was slapping his legs like this with both hands. And when I looked out just for one moment, and all the devotees were watching him, and he was the only one that was watching the play. And he was laughing so hard, then he stood up and gave a standing ovation. It was just so ecstatic. And the amazing thing is Prabhupada was like performing, there was no judgment. He was like a child when he would watch the plays. You felt no inhibition, all the inhibitions would just go away. And the amazement of his personality in all his activities, being a child, being a wise, saintly personality, the combination was amazing.
Je anilo